All these people around the world are showing that they care and that they want to be able to help, and they're doing it for the same cause, and that's just, it gives me goosebumps. It's very moving.
Well, for many out there, butterflies at the beginning now turn to adrenaline. Goals have been set, targets are there to be beaten. So many people out there having fun, but that natural competitiveness that's inside all of us now comes to the front. And Sophie Morgan has hit the nail on the head. Look, there's people rolling in their wheelchairs along with friends, families. These are beautiful pictures. There's people out there on their own. There's people out there at the flagship events and the app events. And this is why this is the biggest running event in the world. Spectacular pictures and everybody loving the moment. And it doesn't matter, Michelle. There's some people just walking. There's no finish line.
The great thing about this race is, while there's no finish line, every single participant is a finisher. There's no set distance that they have to achieve. It can just be the point of moving. It may be 100 meters, it may be 500 meters, it may be 50 kilometers. You don't know, but every single person participating in this race is a finisher, is raising vital funds for spinal cord research. And just look at the smiles on those faces.
Now look at these pictures from Brasilia. It's got to be, hasn't it? You're in Brazil, you get the lovely sunshine, you get the lovely views. This is absolutely beautiful. But look at all those people making the heart signs. This means so much. It's not about miles, as Sophie touched on earlier. It's not about medals. It's not about winning or losing. It's running for those who can't. And it means so much to each and every one of them. Beginners, pros, and if you look to your left and you look to your right, there's a world champion, and there's David MZ, absolutely brilliant, on his feet once again. This gentleman is absolutely amazing. So good to get David MZ early on, and wonderful pictures from Zadar in Croatia.
I mean, just look at those views. What absolutely stunning views there along the coastline. They've got the sunshine that other places don't have, and thousands of runners all around the world. The people here running in the middle of the night, just showing how much it means to them. I wouldn't be getting up at the crack of dawn to run. Sophie?
I think it's a really special thing to point out as well, that you're going to see people in this race who are doing it however they can. So yes, we've got runners, we've got walkers, we've got wheelchair users. But as you saw there, we've got David MZ. He's going to be using whatever he means he can. He's got his walker in front of him. And so some people will be using exoskeletons as well. This is a whole range of mobility devices in this race, which is so unique and so special to see.
We'll be hearing more on the David MZ story later on in the show, but David MZ is one of the fantastic stories for our ongoing 65 research projects, of which 17% are in clinical research. Basic research is the start, pre-clinical and then clinical. And these are where all of the funds that you, the runners out there, have raised for the Wings for Life World Run Foundation, and raised millions to find a cure for spinal cord injury. And many people believe that it's now becoming not just a hope, but a serious belief. Scientists are telling us that I'll see it in my lifetime, Sophie.
I've had a scientist say it to my very face,
Wow.
Nick, which I have to say still to this day gives me goosebumps. I, as I explained earlier, have been living with a spinal cord injury for the best part of now 22 years. And it is extraordinary to see how the outcomes are changing every day thanks to the Wings for Life Foundation. And yes, okay, so at the moment, just like this man here, having a spinal cord injury, it impacts you in so many different ways. And it is more than just your ability to walk that you lose when you have a spinal cord injury. And we'll talk about that through the rest of this afternoon. But yes, at the moment when the scientist looked at me and said he felt very confident that because of the funds that have been put into his research project, people like me will be able to one day walk again, it was extraordinary. It is extraordinary. And I think it's so important for people who are running and people who are watching, who are affected by spinal cord injury, to know that this is happening, and that every single penny raised here today, every single bit of it, 100%, will go towards those efforts and will expedite those prices, the pace of change, and will improve the outcomes every single day. It's so exciting to see.
And look at this.
Go for it, mate. Go for it, mate.
He's enjoying it. And he knows that cure for spinal cord injury, thanks to the amazing work from the scientists working closely with the Wings for Life, a World Run Foundation, the progress that has been made. I first came here in 2014, we're now at 2025, and to see the rise in the research projects is quite amazing. Let's just wrap it up around the world. We have 30 minutes, remember, before that famous catcher car starts to hunt you down. We really don't mind whether you're running, walking, or just sitting down and waiting for the car by now, but there are some professionals out there that will be taking it very seriously. In the latter part of our show this afternoon, we'll be looking for some amazing athletes to try and break records. We're looking for over 70k for the men, over 60k for the women. But for right now, I don't know about you, Michelle, I'm just loving these pictures from around the world.
I just can't wrap my head around these numbers. I mean, over 310,000 runners, all right now on the move. We're just sitting here. We're seeing Panama right now. That's the first time we're seeing them running live. That is absolutely incredible. And just seeing the impact this event has on people around the world and how it literally, in times like this, gets people all together running for one single cause is just incredible.
Montreal in Canada, and another organised app run. And look at it's a buzz. You're running with friends. It's so casual, if you like. As we've said earlier, we're not looking for a finish line. We're actually looking to enjoy a day's running to raise some very valuable funds.
When I set off in Miami, I was with my dad, as I mentioned, and we got moving and I was sort of going along beside him. And suddenly I lost him. He just decided this was going to be something he was going to take very seriously. And he ran and he ran and he ran. And you know what? The thing about spinal cord injury is it does impact more than just the individual who sustains that injury. Our families are affected. Our friends are affected. And so to see our families run with us, alongside us, means so much.
Now, Paris, of course, synonymous with the last Summer Olympic Games. They're running in the Saint-Denis Park, a beautiful part of Paris. And here we are into Fukuoka. Now, I have to say, Japan has had some really fast runners in the past. I'm not sure the name of that fella in the middle there. We'll call him whatever you like. I do like the turtle on the head, I have to say. That's a really nice look. Something that we'll possibly discuss and analyse later, ladies, more closely. But from Japan to Mumbai in India. India has been a long-standing organised app run. It's great to be back. Captain Marvel is there, making sure that everybody's okay. Captain America, not Captain Marvel, thank you. And I'm still giggling over the turtle on the head. I'm so sorry, that's got me.
But I think we've just seen two locations there, both in Japan and in India and Taipei as well. All of these conditions will be tough for the participants. Those people they're facing humidity, it's different times of the day, it's the weather that plays a big part in that. So every single person here pushing themselves.
The other part of it as well, of course, is the equipment that you're going to see some of the chair users in and the terrain that they're going to be going over. Now, everyone is going to be in a manual chair. That is the rules. That is the way it has to be conducted if you're racing in a chair or rolling in a chair. And the other part to notice is, of course, everywhere is different. Some places are going to be a little bit harder to navigate over in that chair. Somewhere like that looks so smooth, but the rain can make it harder to push. So the weather's going to affect the way in which you push that chair too.
Great point, Sophie. Now, I think we'll watch the weather quite carefully in Zug in Switzerland. As I think we said at the top of our show, it's at the foot, at the bottom of the Swiss Alps. We'll be keeping our eyes peeled for a lot of famous winter sports skiers. If you probably went further up the valley from where we are right now, it may well even be snowing. So the rain and the weather could be a key factor in Zug, and I'm sure many of you will remember. Is that Marco Odermatt to the right there? I do believe it is. The world #1 in alpine ski racing, Olympic champion, world champion, you name it, Marco's won it, and a very proud runner for the Wings for Life World Run. I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago and I said, are you looking forward to a break into the summer? And Marco Odermatt told me, I'm looking forward to the Wings for Life World Run more. How about that? Let's go to Seoul in Korea. Again, humidity, often the difficulty for many of those races on the other side of the world, Michelle. But the Japanese runners, the men have won it for the past 3 times. The ladies have had a winner as well. It doesn't seem to stop the runners in Asia.
Japan in particular has such a huge running culture. It's insane. I just checked the world lists earlier today and they've had over 50 athletes running a sub-2:10 marathon on the men's side. That is absolute world class, and to have that depth in the country just shows that Japan is definitely one of those countries we absolutely cannot count out when it comes to the global title. But now we're over in Cape Town. a lot nicer there. It's nice during the day. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful course there alongside the coast. We're seeing the temperature, lovely 24 degrees, almost a little too warm, I'd say, for if you're trying to go really, really far, but not a lot of wind. But
Ocean view, they call it in Cape Town. Absolutely magnificent, a beautiful looped course. I'm delighted that we're in Kazakhstan as well. And Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan, many new countries. Temperatures again are high, 25 degrees Celsius. Wind is there. But it's great to have Kazakhstan part of the Wings for Life World Run. Now, Fukuoka in Japan, where we've seen global winners come from before. And of course, we'll be looking at later on in the show for Joe Fukuda, who's running there, and he's a two-time global winner. But it is part of the culture, running in Japan, but also rolling in Japan. That's a lovely shot there.
Oh, that makes me smile so much. I think, you know, Japan is actually a very accessible place. And as a wheelchair user, I've been there and I've really enjoyed it. It's great to see that young woman there racing. I think as well, I want to just pluck out a couple of things that we might notice too, that when you see the wheelchair users pushing, you'll see some of them have different abilities to do so. This is because paralysis can happen at different points from where you have your injury. So if you have your injury in your neck, what's called the cervical part of your spine, then typically more of your body is affected. So your ability to move your arms and your hands might be impaired. So when you're pushing, it might be a little bit more difficult. The woman we saw in Japan there, she's like me, she's a paraplegic, she's broken a little bit lower down her back so she can use her arms a bit more effectively. And then you just saw that woman just there, she was using an attachment on her chair to help her push along. So there's going to be a whole range of things going on here, and it's just really nice to be able to explain how spinal injury does affect us all a little bit differently.
Well, Brasilia, I have to say, the conditions look perfect. It is 17 degrees Celsius, very little wind, and that is why there are a lot of smiles out there. I also, Michelle, and I know this is not really what you want me to say, I love the shots of people walking, just enjoying it.
Absolutely.
Just having a walk along this beautiful ocean view in South Africa, because before they even sound the horn for the get-go, they know they 100% of their fee to be out there, their enrollment fee, 100% of their donation goes towards finding a cure.
And that's exactly what you're just saying there. Look, everyone is participating to the best of their abilities, no matter what assistive device they can use. And you just see how much support there is for them. So if you mention the support from family members, from friends, that all play a huge part in making sure that everyone can participate.
And the other magical thing about this race is you might not know at what point somebody is in their journey of recovery post-injury. So that woman there, for example, she might have just been injured and is just taking her first steps once again. There might be people here who are racing who have had a spinal cord injury for a very long time. So we're going to see people at different points, and it matters to each of us and every one of us.
Now, this is a lady that we'll be watching very carefully throughout the day. It's Nina Uzbayan, the Armenian racer that has won the Women's Global Championship 4 times. She's gone back to the track where she broke the women's record, over 60 kilometers. Now, Nina Uzbayan is a very important part in the history of the Wings for Life World Run. We were first live on the TV in 2014, 12th edition. But what I'd like to do is take you back to how we started, where it all began, and why the Wings for Life World Run Foundation was born.
Ich bin der Hannes Kinnigartner und vor 20 Jahren hat bei mir ein folgenschwerer Unfall alles verändert. Und seitdem sitze ich querschnittgelähmt im Rollstuhl. Ich bin der Grund, warum es Wings for Life gibt.
In July 2003, Hannes Kinnigartner's promising motocross career came to an end after a severe crash left him paralyzed from the 5th cervical vertebrae down. This led his father Heinz and Red Bull founder Dietrich Mateschitz to establish the Wings for Life Foundation in 2004, with the aim to fund research for spinal cord injury cures. Hannes hadn't let his injury define him. He stays physically active and continues to participate in the Wings for Life World Run every year. He and his father have been involved from the start, attending events in Vienna, Munich and Ibiza. Over time, they began organising their own Abrons events in their home in Zillertal, which continues to grow each year, raising funds and awareness for spinal cord research.
And there they are, live on screen. Heinz and Hannes Kinnegartner, a story that's very close to your very own, Sophie.
Well, Hannes was actually injured about 2 weeks, I think, before I was. So it was in 2003. And when I heard this story about him and what happened immediately after his injury, it just really struck me, because I was told probably something very similar to what he was told, is that in your lifetime you will not walk again. You've suffered a spinal cord injury, that is it. And whereas I went off and went, okay, well, I'm just going to have to adapt to my life and move on and deal with it however I can, he asked a question. Well, why not? And he brought together, using his contacts and his family and his friends, a group of researchers to ask them the question, what is happening? Where are we with the spinal cord injury research? And what can we do to make things better? And that was why Wings for Life was born. And if you look now, over 22 years later, at the impact that that one question has made on the lives of so many people with spinal cord injury, it is quite extraordinary.
Wonderful words. Hope has now become belief for so many wheelchair users. Now, let's take a look at Izmir in Turkey. Some of these people have got beautiful Sunday morning running conditions here. Let's have a look at our global overview, see where we're at, see how many runners are where and when, and take a quick spin around the world at the Wings for Life World Run for 2025. North America, over 20,000 runners. Wow, that is an incredible figure. Look at that, Korea, Japan. Listen in here to China, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. All of the stans are out there running for those who can't. Now, in Europe, of course, it is so popular, this movement. Now, don't forget, send us your messages, send us your pictures, send us your stories, send us anything to #WingsForLifeWorldRun. Please send us a donation if you are starting to get the picture, starting to understand this remarkable global movement. Here's another fantastic picture. Walk. Doesn't matter. You have 30 minutes to enjoy the love, be a part of this movement before the fun begins with the catcher car. Michelle, some amazing numbers here.
I mean, those numbers are incredible. Over 70,000 participants in Austria, almost 50,000 in Germany, close to 20,000 in Poland. You mentioned already earlier, close to 15,000 in the States. I mean, those are huge, huge figures. And you have to remember, there's 7 flagship runs, but how many other hundreds of thousands runners are just out there, either running by themselves using the app or in one of the many organised app runs?
Great words, Michelle, and that's exactly what our social wall is all about. For those people out there on their own, sending us a little message. Keep sending us your content. We're loving these messages, loving these pictures from all over the world. #Wings for Life World Run. Let's go down under. Auckland, New Zealand. They're running through the night down under. Almira, Spain looks to have perfect conditions. And once again, this is what we're talking about, Sophie. It's not about the finish line. It's not about medals or miles. It's about enjoying the moment. It's about running for those who can.
It's so exciting to see. I think for me, I work so often in broadcasting of the Paralympics, and you see people getting out there and it's very competitive, it's very serious. This is about fun. This is about enjoyment, it's about fitness, about getting out there, getting in amongst it, but it's also about raising money, and it's also about raising awareness. I mean, so much about this is about explaining to people what spinal cord injury is and what research does. So it's got many, many layers to this important event.
Have a little look at some of these marvellous pictures. And if you like a game of football, see if you can spot the celebrity.
If you're not good at what you're doing, you better be perfectly equipped. Let's go. Wings for life.
3, 2,